some commands, some examples for the SQL commands for subqueries, join, and aggregate functions. Okay, so let's have a look into the exercise, which is create the below tables as per the relational schema given. Use appropriate data type size for the attributes. Pay attention to the referential integrity. Yeah, here we have author ID from book table is a foreign key which references author ID in the author table. Okay, so we have a referential integrity here, and primary key author ID in author table, book ID in book table. Okay, and there are some records for each table, so we need to enter the few records for the author table and book table. So let's go to the MySQL. Okay, then, so this is the author table. I've already created the author table and book table. And how about the records? Also done. So these are the records for author table and for the book table. And as you see in the description, the primary key attribute and the foreign key attribute all done here. Okay, so this is about creating a table and populating the table. Now let's try to do some exercises regarding the subquery, join, and aggregate functions. So let's try the first one. Retrieve the details of books written by the author Davidson. So we have the book details here. So book detail contains only the author ID, not the author name. Okay, where is the author name? It's in the author table. So author table is in, it's another table containing the details of the authors like ID, name and phone number. Okay, fine. So I would like to display the details of the books written by Davidson. His number is 100. So he wrote software engineering, data structure, and Java programming. So how do we do this? So I have the details from the two tables. So the book data is in the book table and author name is in author table. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, there are many ways to do that. So let's try to do Cartesian product. Okay. So you know already Cartesian product. Select star from author, comma book. So this is Cartesian product. If you stop here, you will have all possible combination of author with the book, but that is not meaningful. Okay, it's, you will have irrelevant data. Because it's all combination of the books, and let's look into it. Cartesian product. So the details what you get is not a correct details. Can you see Davidson is having the book details software engineering, also Patterson the book details for software engineering, Jackson, Johnson, Day. This idea is it's having all possible combination of the author with all possible combination for the book. So it's having irrelevant details. So the question is, I would like to have the books written by author Davidson, only the Davidson. Okay, so Cartesian product with the select will give you meaningful data. With the select means with the condition. Cartesian product with the condition. Okay, so let's say Cartesian product is author comma book. Condition is the common field in both the table is author ID and author underscore ID. Okay, so when you do so, you will have a possible like a correct data. What do you mean by correct data? So the author Davidson wrote software engineering, data structure and Java programming. Patterson write network pro systems and C++. Jackson wrote operating system. But the question says, I don't need all the book's detail, only the book written by Davidson. So you need to have one more condition. So this is not the one I need. I need only the books written by Davidson. So that means author name, author underscore name equal to Davidson. Okay, so this field, author name, only Davidson. I don't want the details of all the authors with the book. So this result, the one you see it on the top, it shows the books with the corresponding author, the correct author. So software engineering, who is the author? Data structure, who is the author? So this result shows the book details with the corresponding author. But the question says, I want the book details of, I mean, written by Davidson. So you just put one more condition. Yeah. So you just put one more condition, author name equal to Davidson. So what you will get only the books written by author Davidson. Can you see here? So these are the three books written by author Davidson. So this is, I'm using the Cartesian product with condition. So let's try another way. So what is another way? Let's try to have join operation. Okay, joining. So let's do select star from author, join book. So this is join, not a natural join. Okay, natural join means the common field. You know, the author ID in book table and author ID in the author table, they have the same column name, same column name. Here I don't have the same column name. So author table contains author ID, book table contains author underscore ID. So I can't use natural join, so I'm using eq join. Okay, so join book, the condition. What is the condition? Author ID equal author underscore ID. If I say so, if I stop here, you will have the result of this one. You know, this same result you will have it. Let's see that. But again, the question says I need the books of Davidson. Okay, so you need to have one more condition, which is where author underscore name equal Davidson. So if you have a where class, this is join condition. By the way, don't confuse with a where condition. This is join condition. Whenever you have a eq join, I mean theta join, whatever, you need to have the join condition. This is join condition. This is my where class. Where class always has a condition, is it? A condition means it could be a single condition or many, whatever. Okay, so this is where class. Okay, fine. So when I say so, I will have the book details of Davidson. So these are the three books written by Davidson. So you have many ways of solving a question in SQL. So we saw how to solve the same question with Cartesian product or using join. Okay, fine. Now let's move on to, sorry. Now let's move on to retrieve the details of authors who wrote some books, and I'm going to use in operator. What does it mean? Let's look into the tables. You have author table. So we have four authors: Davidson, Patterson, Jackson, and Johnson. And let's see the book. These are all the books written by, can you see this is Davidson, Patterson. This book is written by Jackson, and again Davidson here, Patterson here. So that means there is an author Johnson. He did not write a book. Okay, fine. So question says, I'm going to display the details of authors who wrote some book, who wrote books. Okay. The person who did not write a book, I don't want to see. I want to see who wrote books like Davidson, Patterson, Johnson. So the question says I need to use in operator, make use of in operator. Doesn't matter, we will use it. So from this table, I'm going to take the details of authors who wrote books. What does it mean who wrote books? So the author ID should be in the book table. If the author ID is in the book table, that author is, that author has written a book. If the author ID is not in the book table, he did not write a book. So if the author ID is in the book table, yeah, I will consider that author details. Okay, fine. So let's do it. So I need the author details. So select star from author where, what is the condition? If author ID is in the book table, yeah, that author has written the book, is it? So where author ID in, okay, this is the in operator, in where? In the book table. Okay. So I need to, whenever you use a in operator, I need a list. So here I need to provide a list here inside the bracket. Okay then. So I can't have the list. Let's extract the list using select operator. So select author underscore ID from book table. That's it. So always keep it in mind, the in operator needs a list. Okay, it needs a list. So what I'm going to do, I don't know the list of author ID. I cannot generate by myself. I don't remember, for example, or I have too many. Let's do the SQL select that list. Select the details from the book and make a list. Okay. So use a subquery. Can you see a subquery here? A query inside a query. I have a select command. Inside the select command, I have another select. So let's have a subquery. So select author ID from the book. That means it will select these IDs. So whenever the author ID from the author table is in the list, that author details is selected. That's the meaning of it. Can you see here? Only these authors have written a book. I told you in the previous thing, Johnson did not write a book, so I didn't see Johnson's name here. Only I see the authors who have written some books. Okay. Now let's try another question. Next question. Retrieve the details of authors who did not write any books. So that means Johnson. So the same command, just put it not in. So if the author ID is not in the list, that means he did not write a book. Okay, let's see that. Yeah, Johnson, he did not write a book. So these people wrote some books and this person did not write any books. So I'm using in operator because the question says use in operator. Can you see the subquery here? And a subquery. So when I have a subquery is a select statement. So when you have a select statement, you can have a where class here. You can have the like or like between or order by, group by, whatever. Okay, it's normal select statement. What you can have a condition here where something or order by something or whatever you can have it here. Okay, it's like a normal select command. Okay, so this question is over. Now let's move on to retrieve the details of book which were published in years 2020, 2022, 2024. So you already have a list. So you can easily use in operator. Okay. So because I told you whenever you have an in operator, you need to have a list. So you already have the list. So why not? Can you use that list? Select the details of the books. Retrieve the details of the book. So have book where, sorry, where the book as the books published in 2020, 2022, 2024. So the attribute is year published. So year published in the list is, this is the list. Very simple. Okay. If you don't want to use in operator, yeah, you can use where class. Okay. A normal where class with conditions. Without in also you can do the same thing. How do you do? From book where year published is equal to 2020, or year published is equal to 2022, or year published equal to 2024. So this is also acceptable. Okay, here you are using a where class. It's quicker, simpler, and here you are using a normal where class with conditions. So all possible set of conditions. Can you see that same result you are getting? Okay. Now let's try the next question. Retrieve the details of book which were published recently. Recently means published year is bigger. Okay, that is the meaning of recently. What does it mean recently? Let's see the book table. Let's see the year published column. You have year 2024, 2020, 10, 2024 again, 21, 2020, 2010. Recently means the latest year. What is the latest year? 2024, 2024. Okay. 10 is little old year. 2021 slightly old. 2020 also the same. 2010 is very old book. So C++ was written long ago. That means it's the old book. I want to know the books written recently, which are the books software engineering and operating system. That means it has the publishing year, which is a big number. Can you get the idea? Which is a big number. Okay. So again, you need to use subquery. Without subquery, it will not give you. Okay. So I told you the year published should be a big number. So you are going to use aggregate function. You know, we have like a few aggregate functions: maximum, minimum, sum, total, average. Sum, total are the same. Average and counting. So here I am going to use max. So if you simply use max, it will not help you. For example, select the details of the books. So star and then max and then year published from book will not help you. It says software engineering 2024. Actually, when you simply use like that, it will go for the first record. Max is 2024. Okay, 2024 is the max, but it will always go for the first record. Okay, fine. I already have another book. What happened to this operating system? Actually, this is not a correct solution. You need to use subquery. Okay, a query inside a query. Okay, let's look into it. Select star from, you want the details of the book, is it? So select star from book. I want the details of the book where the year published should be the big number. Year published is the big number. So it should be the big. So it is equivalent to the big. What is the big? How do I know the values? I don't know the value. Ignore this table. Let's say you have plenty of records in your table, in the book table, like 100, 200 book details. How do you know the recent year? So I cannot give the value here. Let the SQL figure out the big value, the maximum value. So you can say select, sorry, select max of year published from book. How about this one? What do you mean? Let's do the subquery first. Always we do the subquery. So select max year published from book. What is the maximum year published? 2024. So this is subquery will give you the result 2024. Now go to the outer query. Select star from book where year published is 2024. Can you get the idea? So year published is 2024. There are two books. So all the two books are coming here. So this is about another way of using subquery. Okay. Okay then. Now let's do the another one. Opposite. What is opposite? Retrieve the details of book which were very old book. Very old. What do you mean by old book? Here 2010 is a old book because it was printed long ago. 24 recent, 21 recent, 20 okay, quite recent, 2010. Yeah, it's a very old book, is it? So what does it mean? Minimum value. The year published is having small value, minimum value. Again, I am going to use aggregate function. Same like previous. But this time, instead of max, I'm using min. So that means those two books will be coming. Can you see the year published 2010? 2010. What are all the two books? Network system and C++. So do you get the network and C++? Yeah. Can you see the subquery? You need to do the subquery first. So evaluate the subquery. Select min year published from book. So what is the minimum year? In the book table 2010. So this subquery gives 2010. So let's do the outer query. Select star from book where year published equal to 2010. So these are the two books whose year published is 2010. Can you get the idea? So let's see these two things. Here I use max, here I use min. So the subquery, make use of the subquery. Without subquery, it won't give you the proper answer. Okay, fine. Now, let's continue. Include a new attribute for book table called price and the data type is float. So I'm going to add a new column in the book table. So adding a new column, I need to have alter table. So alter table book, add column or just add whatever. Sometimes you can even write add column or just write add. What do you want to add? Price, which is float. That's it. No need to mention anything, any size. That's it. Okay. Just see the description to make sure. Okay. So description of book. Let's see. Yeah, you have a column called price and it is of float. And what is the values? Select star from, sorry. Select star from book. I didn't give any values. So the price is null, null, null. It's okay. Now let's see, update the values for the newly added attribute price with some data for all books. So for some data, so for the newly added column, I need some data. So you need to use update command. So let's try to use update command. So update book set price equal, for example, price is 350 real. If I say so, all the books will get 350 real. But I want to have different values. So let me use the where class where book ID is equivalent to 411. So this one will change only the price of the book ID 4111. Okay. Let's do the same for another book. So this time is 250. So I'm doing different values for different books. So different values for the price of the books. Okay, sorry. Okay, so let's see the records of the books. Can you see that the price is different? Why I have the different? Because the following question, it's going to use the values of the price attribute. So I need to have a different values so that we can do the next question perfectly. Okay, let's do the next question. So we updated the values for the newly added attribute price. Now let's do the question number 9. I'm going to retrieve the details of the following for the from the book table. What is the first one? Details of the high priced book. High priced book. When I say high, maximum. Keep it in mind, I'm going to use the aggregate function maximum. High priced book. So maximum of price. Okay. So here, when you look into the table, maximum. Okay, here. This is the max value data structure. Okay. Maybe sometimes you may have many books with 500, same value. So all of them will be selected. Okay, maximum. So the same thing few minutes ago we did. So let's do the same thing. So select star from book where price equals subquery. You need to make use of the subquery. Okay. Because let's see, without subquery, how does it do? Maximum, is it? You say that max price from book, you will get incorrect answer. Can you see the answer? Software engineering and the price is 500. Yeah, max is 500. But what is this? You get the details of software engineering. Okay, so this, don't use this one. This is incorrect. You need to use a subquery. Okay, so don't use this. This is incorrect. So let's see the book table. Select star from book. And now what I'm going to do, find the details of the books which are all having the big price. Okay, the highest price. So select star from book where price equals, the subquery is max price. Max and then price from the same table, book table. So the subquery will be executed first. It will retrieve the max price, which is 500. So what is the result of this subquery? 500. Go to the outer query. Select star from book where price equal to 500. We have only one book, which is data structure. Okay, fine. So price is 500. Okay, next question. Details of the lower priced book. Lower priced. Who is the lower? We have a 100. There is no more 100. Okay, Java programming. So let's do the same thing. Instead of maximum, this time we have minimum. So we have that Java programming, which is of 100 real, which is the lower priced book. Okay, fine. Now, total price. You want a total price? What do you mean by total price? I want the, okay, let's see the book table. I want the total of all the price. Can you see the price? 350, another book 250, another book 200. So I have 6 books with 6 prices, is it? I want that total of all these prices. Okay, so that's the question here. So total means, let's do the sum. Sum of price from which table? Book table. But let's look into the answer. The column heading for the result is having, this is the aggregate function, is it? I don't like this kind of, because it's like not very neat, not very clear, understandable. It's a function, is it? So somebody like without the database knowledge, when they look into it, they may not understand what is that sum bracket, price bracket. They may have a kind of confusion. So instead, we can have a proper column heading. So how to do? Very simple. Try to have a proper column heading. What is that question? It says find the total price. So let's do like this. This is better. Can you see this one is having that aggregate function as a column heading? That's not very perfect. Okay. So let's have a proper column heading total price. So this is fine now. Okay. And now average price. So what does it mean? Total divided by the number of books. So average price. Let's have a column heading. I'm calculating the average price and the function, aggregate function is AVG. That's it. So the average is the total divided by the number of books. So 1800 divided by 6, you get 300. This is the average. Now, count of the books. What does it mean? How many books are there in the book table? That's the count. Because we have a small table, you can count. Just a matter of few seconds, you will count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 books. Imagine you have a big table with like 100, 200, 300 records are there. You can't manually count. So let's use the aggregate function. Let's say number of books. So number of books, aggregate function is counting. So for counting only, for counting only, you don't have to write the attribute name. You simply write asterisk. If you want to write attribute name, go ahead. Okay, but it's not compulsorily you have to write an attribute name. You just write asterisk. It works only for the count aggregate function. So let's see number of books 6. That means there are 6 books in the table. Okay. Now, next question. Retrieve the number of books, retrieve the details of the following from the book. Retrieve the number of books published by each author, each author. Okay. Whenever you have this kind of clue, each author, each major, or each location. So whenever you have this kind of question, you are going to do grouping. Okay, grouping means group by. So you need to use group by. Can you get the idea? So this is the idea. You need to have the group by. Keep it in mind. So what is the question? Question says number of books published by each author. That means group by. With author name. Okay, I forgot to mention that. With author name, I need to have the author name also. Okay, so how do we do? So we are going to have the group by with author name. So book table, author. Okay, let's do the book table. It's somewhere. So this is the book table and this is the author table. Okay, fine. So why I'm displaying, I want to the attribute names. Okay, that is the reason. So how many books written by the author? Each author. Like David said, he wrote 3 books. Patterson, some, I think 1, 2 books. Okay. And Jackson, 1 book. Johnson, he did not write anything, so you won't see it. It's a 0, 0. Okay. So you need to join these two tables, and from the join you are going to group, and from the group I'm going to have the aggregate function counting. Can you get the idea? So this is what we are going to do it now. Okay. Okay, so let's try that question. Number of books published by each author. So books are in one table, and the author details are in another table. Okay, so let's assume that I want to have the number of books published by each author. Okay, fine. And the question says I need the author name. So keep it in mind, book details are in one table, author name is in another table. So first of all, I need to join these two tables, and then I'm going to group by the author ID, and then I'm going to count the records for each author, not the records, the books for each author. Okay, so let's do it. So select, I want the count with the author name. So author underscore name. Okay, and the count. I told you for count, you just write asterisk, no need to write the attribute name. Okay, so from author table, I'm going to join the two of them, which is book and author. On what condition? The common field here is author ID and author ID. This author ID is in the book table, and author ID without underscore, this is in the author table. So when I say so, I am joining the tables and I am having the author name with the count, but it will not give you proper answer. I need to group them first. Is it? I need to group them for each author. What is the number of books? Okay, so you need to use group by what? By author ID. You can use any of the attribute here, either author underscore ID or author ID, because I join already, so you can use any of them. So when I say so, I will have these author names because this author name with the count of the books. So Davidson wrote 3 books, Patterson wrote 2 books, and Jackson wrote 1 book. Johnson, he did not write any book. So you won't see the detail. Okay. So this is about how are you going to join the tables, and then you are grouping them, and then you are using aggregate function. Can you see that? Joining, grouping. By the way, the question has only two tables. Can you see here? The question has only author table and book table. Sometimes you may have author table, book table, publisher table, library table. So in one SQL command, you can join as many tables as possible. It's okay, no problem. How to join? Author join book on, and then join publisher on, and then join library on. So you can continue like that. Can you get the idea? So something like select star from author, join book on condition, and then join publisher on condition, maybe join another table. Let's say you have another table, for example library on condition. Can you get the idea? So when the table name, join another table, and then on condition, and then join another table. So this result as one table, join with publisher, and then condition here on condition. Can you get the idea? So if you have too many tables, you can join many in one single SQL command. It's fine. It's possible. Okay. But this exercise, we have only two tables, but As you know, the idea of joining two tables, you can join three tables, four tables, whatever. Okay, we still have one more command. Sorry, one more question. Number of books published by author Davidson. Only Davidson. What does it mean? This question, the previous one, we are displaying the author with the number of books. Is it? Every author, how many books he wrote? So Davidson, how many books? Patterson, how many books? Jackson, how many books? But next question says, let's read the question one more time. Number of books published by Davidson. Only Davidson. That means the same question. I don't want to see these two details. That's the meaning. I just want to see how many books written by Davidson. Only that. So the same command. What is the same command? Joining the two tables, group by the author ID, and then count for each author. Is it? So the same command, let's try to have where class, where author name Davidson. So that's it. Okay. By the way, group by can't be, it has to be the end of the SQL. I forgot to mention that. You need to have, so whenever you are writing the select command, group by has to be the end. Okay, meaning is after the group by, you are not going to have the where class. So where class should be before the group by. Okay. So author name equal Davidson. Spelling is correct. Okay. So meaning is only I am seeing the details of Davidson. The previous one, I see the details for every author except another author because this author doesn't have any book. So I don't see Johnson. But the other three of them, they have some books written. Okay. But the next question, I just want to see the details of only Davidson. Okay. So keep it in mind, I made a mistake here like where class can't be at the end. After group by, you can't have where. It should be before. So group by should be at the end. So can you see my group by? It should be at the end. Okay. So this is the condition. After joining, this is join condition. Don't confuse with where class. This is called join condition. This is my where class. This is my group by class. Okay. So don't get confused. So this is about the last question, which is number of books published by author Davidson. There's no more questions. So this is about the exercise where we practiced condition product with condition, join with condition, and then aggregate functions, and then subquery using in. Okay, no, another normal way of subquery also we saw. We saw the subquery using where in class, where not in also. Okay, so we discussed a few things and thank you.